がここにいるうちの本物のスクールスポーツのために行こうぜベイビーバンこの国は気をつけて、現実になることがありますからね。
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and continue the long-standing tradition of covering Japanese boxing here on True School Sports. True School Sports, the #1 source for Japanese boxing in America, from an American. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. And ayete okata. Nice to see everybody tuning in once again, showing that love and that passion that I'm sure we all have for this glorious and amazing sport of boxing. Now, I've made a couple of videos about this potential matchup in the past, but it is not a potential matchup anymore. It has been signed, it has been sealed, it has been delivered, and it'll be a momentous occasion. November the 14th, I believe, is the date. And it's going to be in South Florida, you know, my hometown, you know, South Florida, Miami to be exact. Andy Hiraoka, one of the, most dynamic talents in Japanese boxing above the featherweight limit. You know, he's finally getting his world title fight. He's finally getting a step-up fight of the highest order. And he's going to be fighting Gary Antuanne Russell. Yes, he'll be fighting Gary Antuanne Russell for the WBA title. Yes, for the WBA title at 140 pounds. And I'm really excited about it. As the rain pours and as the Bay Area morning persists, we will continue making this video here on True School Sports, even in the rain. Listen, I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited for this fight because, I think for both of them, for Gary and for Andy, I think this is the best opponent each have faced in each other's career so far. I think, when you talk about Andy Hiraoka, you're talking about a southpaw sniper from the outside. Throws really strong, compact punches from outside of mid-range, but also has very, very good legs. He's an above-average athlete. So when you blend those skills and those attributes together, it make him a tough matchup to solve in the ring, right? And he's beat some good guys. He's beaten Jintazaki. He's beaten Ismael Barroso and stopped both those guys. So his punching power is real. He's really punching like that. But I don't think he's ever really fought anyone so far that has the speed or the pedigree of Gary Antuanne Russell. Now for Gary Antuanne Russell, look, he fought Ryle. He's fought Postal. He fought he's fought some good guys. He fought some good fighters. I give it to him. And he's having a year where he's fighting. Like he fought Ryle, and then he fought earlier this year. Now he's fighting Andy Hiraoka. So, there's always talk about American fighters who don't step up to the plate and they duck fights. Let's give respect to an American fighter who's stepping up to the plate and showing y'all that, there's still plenty of fighters in this country that are doing the right things for and by boxing. But yeah, Gary's never fought anybody, I think, with the combination of power, reach of a guy like Andy Hiraoka. So I like this fight a lot. I really feel like this fight has the makings of an explosive fight. And I know. Look, this fight will be on the undercard of Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, and that's circus. But in my mind, this is the main event. I might tune into that fight, and I might just watch. I might seriously just watch this fight and go on and carry on my day, because I don't really give a damn about Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. I think it's a joke, and that's why I barely talked about it. I don't even think I made a video about Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul because it's a joke. This is a fight that the 140-pound division desperately needed, and style-wise, it's a very, very intriguing matchup. It's two southpaws, and it's two explosive southpaws, but they both go about their business in a different way. You understand? Like Andy Hiraoka, he's trying to keep you at the end of his punches, and he's trying to set traps with his feet when he can and walk you into big power punches that are going to hurt you and potentially knock you out. That's how he fights. But he's also got an educated jab. As to where with Gary has a style that a lot of the Russell family has, being a southpaw, speedy hands. He likes to let his hands go in flurries, which I think, for a lot of opponents, so far it's worked. He's very good at changing his hand speed and, well, actually no, he's good at changing. I wouldn't say he's great. He's good at changing his hand speed, but he has speed and he puts the punches together consistently throughout the rounds, and they're not feather-fisted punches. They're hard punches. Why I think things could get dicey for a guy like Gary Antuanne Russell in this fight is that, he likes to throw these punches at the same speeds all the time. I think he's going to need to change the speed of his punches up a little bit this fight, because if he fights the way he's fought like Ryle, or the way he's been fighting for most of his career, against a guy like Andy, if he could push him back consistently, then he'll be fine. But if he can't push him back and Andy is able to hold his ground and or punch in between the shots, I think it could be a very, very difficult night at work, a very difficult fight for Gary, and we might have ourselves a new champion if we're not careful. But it's a great fight. I would say I don't call fights 50-50. I think it's a 50-50 fight because I see things that could really trouble both guys. With a guy like Andy, right? A lot of Japanese fighters, they don't like fighting on the inside. I know this very, very well. I probably know this better than anybody else in America. I know this very well because I've been to, I think, 17 Japanese boxing gyms in Japan. I'm in camp with a Japanese fighter now. I watch Japanese boxing a lot. Japanese fighters traditionally tend to love to be mid to long range, structured, aggressive sluggers. That's how I would describe the Japanese style. Most Japanese fighters can't fight on the inside. And Gary likes to fight on the inside. So there is a clear path to victory for Gary if he can get on the inside and stay defensively responsible when he's navigating the long and mid-range. You understand? So that's why the fight is so interesting from a style standpoint. Andy hasn't fought in a year. Andy Hiraoka hasn't fought in about a year since he fought Barroso. So, there will be some ring rust there to work through. I'm looking forward to seeing how he navigates that. But it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. I was favoring Andy. I'm not going to lie to you. I was favoring Andy. Now that I'm talking about it out loud, I make this a fight a little closer with Gary. I don't know, man. I'm going to say, gun in my head, they're probably, if the fight goes a distance and it's a close fight, I think they'll probably give Gary a decision. I think that's probably what will happen. But I initially thought Andy. I'm going to stick to my guns with Andy. And I believe he does overcome I think Andy will overcome the year layoff. And I think he will be the new champion. But will it shock me if Gary wins? No. Gary has, I just laid out to you guys, the clear path to victory. Gary gets on the inside. Gary keeps his punches short and tight. He could beat up Andy Hiraoka, but I also think Andy Hiraoka could knock out Gary Antuanne Russell. So that's the intrigue of the fight. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Gary Antuanne Russell versus Andy Hiraoka. By the way, I'm going to answer this question because I'll know I'll get it like 10,000 times before the fight actually happens with Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. I will not be there at that fight. I'm not even going to be in South Florida at that time when they're fighting. So don't ask me if I'm going to Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. I don't want to be at that fight. I don't care to be at that fight. And I have other things I'm tending to that have nothing to do with that. So there's that. But yeah, leave your comments down below. And yeah. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.